The live action Legend of Zelda movie comes to theaters in 2027. Today, we're going to fan cast Princess Zelda to see who can capture her grace and spirit. Let's start off by going in what we want to see from Princess Zelda. Personally, I am a fan of the Breath of the Wild games, and I think that is going to be the iteration of Zelda we may be getting due to the game's popularity and just how many people have been playing that game recently, especially for Tears of the Kingdom, and how after years it is still has the highest player base in comparison to the previous Zelda games. Plus, I think just with a younger Zelda in general, we would be able to get this cast for many more years to come, as there's a lot of Zelda stories they can tell. And starting off with just a younger 20s, mid 20s Zelda, we can easily get 10 years out of it and eventually go into the older, more experienced Zelda that we see in the later games.
The Legend of Zelda is my favorite video game of all time. I think for me, I would go with an adaptation of Ocarina of Time, just because I want, not necessarily the whole story, but just because I'd like to see those two different stages of Princess Zelda, child Princess Zelda versus adult Princess Zelda, just to get the two different perspectives. As a child, she's very naive. She believes in this plot and she helps Link, which ultimately screws everything up. And then as an adult, she's like, no, I have to change tactics. So I would love to see that. And one of the people that we both agreed upon, and I don't know how you guys are going to feel about this in the comments, but Anya Taylor Joy. And I'm not sure how many of you guys are going to feel in the comments, but because she played Princess Peach, totally understand. But that was animation. This is live action. I mean, how many people have played two superheroes? I mean, Ryan Reynolds played Green Lantern, although he wants to forget that, and so do we. He's now famously Deadpool. She could do them both. She has a great princess-like look to her, the way she carries herself, and the majority of the pictures, and even in her acting role. I mean, she just has that sort of elfish-like features, if you will, and her acting abilities. I think she'd be a great adult Princess Zelda. I really enjoyed her as Princess Peach. I haven't seen all of Anna's movies, but what I have seen of her, yeah, I think just based off of what I'm looking at right now, if she was to be cast, I wouldn't have a thing to say about it.
Oh, absolutely. She is my second favorite actress. I love everything she's in, and she has such a great range too. I mean, she could do action for if they made Zelda have more of an action role than a passive role. It's like she was Furiosa. She can also do drama, as you can see from Queen's Gambit. And as Ember said, she has this grace, she has the look to her. I do agree with that. Where the only downside for me personally is that she's been Princess Peach, and I know it may not ever happen, but I do want to see a crossover. That's my only reason. But
You
I think
still
that would be
may
so
get that.
cool.
There was rumors of also an animated Zelda movie. So
Yeah.
that could still happen.
And that leads to my next question. If we're going to get an animated Legend of Zelda as well as a live action Legend of Zelda, let us know in the comments. Would you want a different cast or would you want them to repeat the cast? And then our next actress is Emma Watson. She hasn't acted in any movie in 6 years, but she is such a tremendous actress. I loved her as Belle, and she definitely has the grace and the fierceness and just the beauty that Princess Zelda has. I think Emma Watson is extremely seasoned actress that she grew up playing Hermione and Harry Potter, and she can bring a lot more depth to Princess Zelda than I think some of the other choices can. I've always been a fan of her. Whenever she's in a movie, she knocks it out of the park. I think she would be amazing.
I agree. I think Emma Watson, first of all, she's gotten, at least that I've read, she's gotten quite a bit of shit for her role as Hermione and for the role of Belle. Some people were like, she just doesn't look like Belle. It's kind of hard to look exactly like a cartoon man. It's really hard. The dress isn't the same. I don't know. I saw a yellow goldish dress. I did. I was like, yeah, that's what that would look like in real life. It's actual cloth versus, a drawing. But I think with Emma, we have someone who's A, extremely beautiful, and B, a very, very good actress. She can do the damsel in distress, and she could also do, if they go the way Griff would like, the more kick-ass, take control center stage Princess Zelda. Because she's that type of a feminist without being one of those in-your-face feminists. And I like that about her. And again, Princess Zelda, it's the name says it all, Princess Zelda. And Emma carries herself as a princess. Every time she speaks, she's spoken at the UN, she's spoken at, several public events. Every time she speaks, she carries herself with such, you know, strong presence, and she has like this sort of elegance about her that yeah, and every time you see her at any damn red carpet, she's one of the best dressed people there. So I mean, yeah, I could totally see Emma Watson as Princess Zelda. My wife laughs because I have a crush on her, and she's
Who
like,
doesn't?
she's little Hermione. I was like, she was 20 years ago. She's almost 40. I was like, no, you're not thinking of her the right way. So yeah, for me, 100%, Emma Watson would be a great choice. This one, surprisingly enough, I had not thought of. When I think of Princess Zelda, I swear I had not thought of this one. And then, usually before a video, Griff and I shoot the shit a little bit and we plan things out. And he brought up Florence Pugh. And when he said her name, there are pictures of Florence when you look at her and you're like, no. But there are other photographs of Florence and things that she's done where she's like, yeah, that absolutely works. I can't say too much about her acting because what I've seen of Florence has been Marvel movies, and she was in Dune, which was one of my favorite movies. She was in Dune Part 2. She didn't have a big role there. So I can't really tell you that she's as great of an actress as the previous two that we've mentioned, but I think she's growing in her craft. And I honestly, if they cast Florence as either Rapunzel or as Princess Zelda, I would be okay with it. I would totally be okay with it. She's beautiful, despite what my sister may say. I think my sister's high. She's beautiful. And she's fun. She just has a great, lovable persona about her. I don't know how she does with sad things, because when I think of Princess Zelda is always like, you know, sad because shit's coming to an end. But just looking at her, yeah, absolutely. I think Florence would do a great job.
Yeah, and just to speak a little bit more on her acting, I don't think she's ever been in a bad project that's her fault. Like recently, she was in We Live in Time, and that is more of a sad, dramatic movie with Andrew Garfield. And I think from that, she can definitely carry over to what Edward was saying. She's a great actress in everything we've seen. She was great in Oppenheimer as well. I think, although she may not have the perfect look for it, she also has the wide range. And I don't know what it is about her that just says yes to me. That makes it a little bit hard to articulate, but she's my number two. It's just a feeling. And sometimes
I'll
that's
go with
enough.
that. Oh, absolutely.
But my number one, and this wasn't my number one till like the morning before we started recording, is McKenna Grace. I think she would absolutely nail it. She's young enough to do like the younger teenage Princess Zelda if they do that. And she can also play her age, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom Zelda. I think she's done a great job. She had a leading role in Ghostbusters, and when she was on Young Sheldon, she overshadowed the titular character, and that is so hard to do. She's charismatic, she looks the part, she's a good actress. I'm excited to see her career and as she does more things. She's had a very good start. I think this could be the thing that pushes her even further out there. I think McKenna Grace would rock it.
First of all, I love this young actress. I've seen her in Young Sheldon, which is I wasn't a huge fan of The Big Bang Theory. Young Sheldon, I've seen it through and through. And Griffin's right. When she comes on later on, she just takes over. You can't help but to just fall in love. She's adorable. She's great. Her comedic timing is perfect. And then I forgot about her until Ghostbusters Afterlife. And I didn't even know that was her because she just looks so different. But that's a testament to her great acting skills. She changed. And I really like that about her. And then when Griffin brought her up this morning, I was like, huh, yeah, that she actually looks, out of all of the people we've mentioned today, she looks the most like Princess Zelda, at least to me. She
Yeah.
has great range. She's a beautiful and very talented young actress. And I agree with Griffin. If you cast McKenna Grace, you have a Princess Zelda that can carry a franchise for 3 or 4 movies, which is something that, if the movie does well, that's what you want to happen. Does she have to play the exact same Princess Zelda? Well, if you've ever played the games, no, only in name. And that's cool too. She could play this version here, and then in the second movie, play a totally different iteration of Princess Zelda. And I think she's got the range to do that. I mean, she's certainly from this very bratty, obnoxious, know-it-all little kid to this nerdy, dorky kid who no one likes in Ghostbusters. That's a completely different character, and she was able to rock both of those. I've only ever really seen her in those two projects, so I can't tell you how great of an actress I think she is. But I think based on those two, I think she's on her way to doing, to the beginning of a great, great career. And yes, if she got cast as Princess Zelda, that would just, if the movie does well, it would catapult her to just, superstar.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're a huge fan of Nintendo like we are, you could check out our review for the Mario movie that came out in 2023. We absolutely cannot wait for the live action Legend of Zelda, and we hope to see you guys there for our review.
Take care, guys.